Hello. Welcome back, everyone. Again, my name is Colin, semicolon, Brez, whatever you want to call me, we're just fine. So we are gonna do our, daily recap and restock, and then from there we will venture into some other farms, I suppose. Figure something out. Maybe do some uh 2x4s and Emerald Dream. Maybe do a little bit of Transmog Farming. We will see. So if you were around yesterday, or if you saw the previous video, I talked about all the different methods I use for gold making right now. There's, I think, like technically 4 different methods, or at least 4 different characters that I'm actively doing stuff to make gold on. Um, with that said, some of the markets I'm doing, I'm brand new into. Never really done them before, so it's kind of a test. And that's why I'm making these videos after all, so that I can test them out. Anybody that kind of likes longer videos that they could just have playing in the background and have that going while they're just doing their own gold making, that's kind of the intention here. So share ideas. I'd love feedback in the comments as well. Or in the Twitch chat, I don't know, wherever you're at. However you want to call yourself. So anyways, with kind of that prelude, the intention of that was to talk about this character. And this character in particular, I'm doing one thing that I really haven't done or I haven't done it a different way on this character in a long time. So essentially what that is I don't empty out my mailbox on a daily basis generally. And I will spend all of my gold on crafting, etc., up until I am completely out of gold, and then I'll empty my mailbox. So, that does cause mail to back up and sit for a long time, but I love once I do finally go empty my mailbox. I kind of will sit here, close my bags so that I can't exactly see the total rise. And then once it's finished completely, I'll open my bags back up and build the nice little, whoa, damn, I made 500-600K. And you can kind of see evidence of that by just looking at, the past several weeks to, I don't know, I guess past 2 months. You can see my gold just kind of goes up in like a stair step kind of fashion. It slowly goes down and then spikes up, slowly goes down. And that's from me doing it this exact same way. But with that being said, I might end up changing things up a little bit in terms of how I do it, just so that it's a bit easier for us and tracking how much gold I'm making on a daily basis. I don't know. We'll see. But we're just going to continue doing it the way that we have been so far. So on this character, over the past 24 hours, I have sold... well, let's take a look here, because I'm still selling the stuff that I've been selling. So some missives, inks. I, for the most part, only sell burnished ink, and turn all of my flourishing, blazing, and serene into burnished or missives, whatever it may be. I will post the serene, blazing, and flourishing if it warrants it. If the prices are super good. Just recently, the price on burnished was reset up to like 60 gold, And obviously, you use Serene, Blazing, and Flourishing to craft Burnished. And so, as soon as Burnished jumped, it caused the prices of and Serene, Blazing, and Flourishing to spike. So obviously, you've got to post what you have at that moment to capitalize on people trying to craft Burnished ink. Get that posted. So in situations like that, absolutely post it. So missives, inks, and some contracts. That's essentially what I've been selling in terms of inscription over the past 24 hours. And then when we take a look at jewel crafting, it's really much of nothing. As you can see in this most recent post scan I did, I have Zen Neltherite and Energized Emerald posted on the auction house. The Zen Neltherite might be selling at a loss at this point. Energized Emerald, I think probably isn't quite yet. But gems right now have just totally crashed out, and not too happy about it, but it is what it is. I make a lot of my gold off of jewel crafting. During the peak times, you can make upwards of 100, 200, 300 gold per craft on gems. And if you're selling them during peak hours, like Saturday night, Friday night, or I guess really probably any time on the weekends, Tuesdays, you really will get a lot of sales there. But gems are also region wide, so you can pretty much rely that anytime you're going to list gems on the auction house, it's a pretty good shot you'll get a sale. Now, one thing I do just kind of want to touch on with gems is, and actually this goes for missives, I think, as well. But it's on the region-wide auction house, and so that means everybody on every NA server, if you're in NA, is going to have access to the stuff you're selling, which is great. But it also means that everybody else that's also selling is going to be competing with you. So a lot of times commodities like this are kind of daunting to people because you can list your stuff up on the auction house. Like, let's say you craft 20 gems and post those on the auction house and log off. There's almost a guaranteed chance that you're either not going to sell any, or you'll only sell up to 3, probably at the most. And that's because there's just literally probably hundreds of other people selling gems at the exact same time, which can make it extremely difficult. So if you are going to get into something like commodities, missives, gems, contracts, generally I recommend having a smaller post cap, but this also is going to be a market that requires you to kind of babysit the auction house. So a lot of times what you'll see is I'll be sitting in the auction house, like crafting inks, and essentially just standing next to the auctioneer so that I can constantly go through post auctions, go through cancel auction, and basically just do that as much as I can when I'm playing. Having a second account, which is what I do have 2 accounts, makes that a lot easier because you can go out and be doing whatever you want on one account and kind of babysitting the auction house on the other account. So that's what I do. So if you're going to get into commodities, be prepared to kind of babysit the auction house. But I promise you, even if you only do it for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes a day, it can really pay off if stuff is profitable. Obviously, there's always going to be something profitable. Like especially with inscription, there's so many different things to craft. Excuse me. So many different options of things to craft. Inks are, I don't think I've ever seen a time when inks aren't profitable, except for maybe Cosmic Ink. Ruined Writhe Bark, always a tough one for me to pronounce, is a lot of times profitable, sometimes not. You have to really watch it. It can go from being profitable to not very quickly. So if you do craft like a bulk amount of ruined wrathbark, for example, be prepared to have that posting onto the auction house constantly until you sell through it. Because if you craft a bunch of it, log out overnight, log on the next morning, chances are, or I guess not chances are, but chances are the price has dropped significantly and it's probably not profitable for you anymore. So that's another one. Babysit on the auction house if you're going to craft it. Chilled rune, kind of the same premise, although usually chilled runes are profitable. It just might vary between, somewhat profitable to very profitable. So, actually, to kind of branch off of that, one thing I would hugely recommend if you aren't aware of it so far is Craft Sim. If you are into gold making, I hope you have this add-on. If you do not, you should definitely download it. And just as very brief explanation, now because crafting has stats like multi-craft, resourcefulness, and inspiration, that's a lot of math to take into consideration when looking at profitability. You can no longer just say, oh, I craft it for 40 gold and it's selling for 50 gold. I'm making 8 gold profit per. It doesn't work like that because you have multi-craft, resourcefulness, and inspiration now factored in. So Craft Sim just kind of does all the math for you, takes into consideration all of your current stats in each category, and does the math to give you a pretty solid estimate of what your profit should be per craft or losses. So definitely a great add-on to have. And then it eventually, that's just kind of surface level thing to get you started. Eventually, Craft Sim does have a recipe scan and a craft queue so that if you are doing bulk crafting, it just speeds that process up for you. So those are things that you'll see me use from time to time. Feel free to ask questions if you ever do, but definitely check out Craft Sim. So Chilled Runes is a great one. As you can see, 12, almost 13 gold profit per craft. And again, that profit is considering if I were to buy the Serene Inc and the Rousing Frost off the auction house. Serene Inc, 6 gold, 25 silver per, and the Rousing Frost, 7 gold, 22 silver per. If I craft these things, then the crafting cost is definitely not 42 gold and 35 silver. The Serene Inc alone, I can craft for 13 gold, and I'm guaranteed 2 of them. So that's just over 7 gold. Just shy of 7 gold for the Serene Inc base cost if I were to craft it. But you have to consider that there's multi-craft resourcefulness. So that is going to ultimately make the cost to craft significantly less than 13 gold and 38 silver when you factor in all of the additional crafts I get between the resourcefulness and the multi-craft. So that's one way to lower your cost. And then another way, like with Rousing Frost, you can unravel Frostbitten Wilder Cloth and get Rousing Frost out of that. Most times it is profitable to do just the unraveling. So if it's profitable just to unravel, then it's definitely going to be profitable to unravel and take that Rousing Frost and convert it into Chilled Runes. And then from there, that's another crafting material that you now have for other things that you might craft, like missives. Every single missive you craft, you need a Chilled Rune. So if you've gone through the process and you've crafted Serene Inc, you've unraveled Frostbitten Wilder Cloth or farmed up Rousing Frost, either way, you should really probably just unravel Frostbitten Wilder Cloth the effort, the amount of time put in to farm this wouldn't be worth it, in my opinion. So if you've gone through all that effort to craft up the chilled runes, then your crafting cost in chilled runes is less than 42 gold. Well, I'll just say, I don't know, like 35 gold per. You're getting way more chilled runes for a lower crafting cost. And then you look at a missive, you've got a chilled rune already taken care of. You've already got the inks because you crafted those up. And now your missive's crafting cost is, I don't know, maybe like 35 or 40 gold. So then you look up at the price of a missive, and, without resourcefulness and multi-craft, the cost to craft is 50. It's selling for 70. That's 20 gold profit right there. But Craft Sim is considering that with my resourcefulness and multi-craft, it's giving me an additional almost 20 gold of profit. So essentially, you could subtract the extra 20 gold profit from your crafting cost. And so essentially, that would make your crafting cost 30 gold with a selling price of 70 gold, giving you a profit of 39. So that was kind of a complicating situation or explanation, and I'm gonna be totally honest. I think I confused myself like right at the very tail end of that explanation, but it's a lot of math, and I am not great at math, but I've learned to understand how, these, I guess this is like very basic shit, but it's a lot of math still, and it can get confusing. But nonetheless, if you craft up 600 chilled runes, for example, that's usually what I do. Is I'll go for 600 chilled runes so that I can craft 100 of each missive. Some of the missives are not going to be selling for, much compared to the Aurora that we saw that was selling for 70 gold. But even with the reduced selling price, again, Craft Sim is considering 11 gold, 15 silver profit if I'm buying these materials off the auction house. The profit's going to be more if I went through the process and crafted all of these materials. And then when you're doing it in a bulk process, it's much more time efficient. If you went through and you crafted up 100 chilled runes so that you could craft 100 auroras, and then after that you're like, oh, I need to craft up another 100 chilled runes. First I need to go do my unraveling and then craft the ink. Then it becomes a time-consuming process. But if you just build up the liquidity, I suppose, to be able to do some of these things just in bulk, it can really speed things up. If you just craft like 1,000 inks at a time, you're covered for all of the chilled runes you need to craft and likely all of the missives craft. And then if you just spend like 20,000 gold on Frostbitten Wilder cloth and just unravel all of that and just turn every single bit into chilled runes, you'll have enough chilled runes to cover all of the crafting aids, and then you'll have extras that you can either save until further crafting, or you can just go ahead and list them on the auction house, which is what I do. There's just some things to think about. If you are in it for just the more quick route, then absolutely just buy the mats off the auction house, craft it, and list the product back on the auction house. That's going to be the quickest route. It's just not going to be as much profit. So, it's kind of what you prefer. I typically prefer to craft all the necessary materials that I need to maximize my profits. But it also depends on the prices of things. Sometimes, if the difference between me crafting something and me just buying it off the auction house is just a matter of like a gold or a couple of gold, then I'm just going to buy the item on the auction house. Say, screw it. So we are going to go through and do some restocking We've got everything crafted. As you can see, my bags are full of contracts, all that good shit right now. So, um, we will go ahead and get this posted on the auction house. And one thing that I just kind of want to cover is earlier at the very beginning of this stream, I was mentioning that you sometimes need to kind of like babysit your auctions, especially if you're in commodities. And when I say babysit, really what I mean is just like, constantly posting and cancel scanning. If you're going to be doing commodities like gems, you have to do that. You have to just cancel scan. It sucks, but that's how you make the money. But if you do it, you make the money. That's why like my mailbox is full of just cancel scanning and whatnot. But my biggest recommendation, if you are going to be crafting stuff up and babysitting it, cancel scanning, create some TSM operations that don't post like a lot of a specific item, and you might have to do some testing to find what works for you. And I find it kind of found or landed on these numbers and haven't made too many adjustments to it. But I probably should. So, like for example, I have like this gems one, and this is set up with my groups for jewel crafting, glyphs, missives, contract. So this is just going to be all of my gems, basically, missives, glyphs, contracts. And the post cap is just 3. So with all of those items, as I go through, I run my scan and I click post on every single thing like I just did. I'll do it again. Except for the inks, the missives, contracts, gems, it posts 3 of them at a time. And it just wouldn't make sense for me to post. Like I have 135 Dragon Scale Expedition contracts, and it just wouldn't make sense for me to post all of them because all of them aren't going to sell right away. Only a handful, if that. So I'd just be wasting gold on the deposit cost because I'd be canceling it shortly thereafter and then going through and reposting. And if I'm reposting all 135 again, then you see it just wastes money really quickly. So if you're going to have a bunch of a single item, then you want to create groups that limits the amount of that item that you're posting at a time. But if you're just starting out and you're just crafting like 10 of the contract or whatever, then if you post all of them, that's fine. Like it doesn't hurt anything. And the posting or the deposit cost, when you're just starting out and posting small items, well, the deposit cost doesn't change at any point, but with a smaller group of items, you're not going to be spending nearly as much on deposit cost. So that's kind of the idea. So that I think will finish out my druid. On a typical day, I would leave this character online, chilling right here, and every so often I'd come back through and do a post scan. But I don't think my computer is going to allow me to do that right now. So we will just do the next best thing, which is getting off of this account and getting on my other account so that we can take a look at those characters and we can review what they've done, where they're at, and all that juicy information. So let me get swapped over here. I hope, as I mentioned earlier, I'm upgrading my dedicated WAM. So I hope that once I've got that taken care of, I can run both accounts at the same time with no problem and do some crafting in the background while I craft. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so we kind of peeped at my hunter earlier, but we didn't really dive into things any way, shape, or form. So let's do that now. So on my hunter, I did sign on to him earlier and looked at the mailbox. I regret it. But I posted some other things, reposted. So there is some new stuff in my mailbox for us to have a look at. So this morning I did do some farming. I did some Emerald Dream farming. And if you're curious of what I was doing, so up in this area, you can farm rousing fire, rousing earth, BOEs, you name it. So there's several spots. There's one spot that's, I don't know, probably closer like here-ish. And it's surrounded by all this charred looking ground, but then there's just like a little island that is sticking up and green. It's got a tree, and you can just stand on there with your group, 2x4 preferably. That's the most ideal, at least. And you basically just spin in circle, pulling everything. It runs to you, your group kills it, and it's hyper spawning it. And so just so much shit's spawning and dying. And you just keep looting and you get a bunch of extra stuff. But the farm that I did earlier was closer to down here. There's a bunch of fire elementals in this area. And it's the same premise, but you're just chilling on the ground and aggroing up all the fire elementals. But it seems like there's a lot more killing happening in this area than this area. Like the hyper spawn is just way more hyper. I would imagine it gets nerfed, to be totally honest. It seems kind of over the top with how many rousing fires you get. Because I got like an hour or like 1,000 in like not even an hour, I don't think. I feel like it was only like 30 minutes. I don't know if it was that short, but not long. So, that's a lot. Plus BOEs. You don't get rousing earth, I don't think. I don't believe I got any. But you get rousing fire, rousing fire, and BOEs, plus random shit that drops that you just vendor sell. So, yeah, there's some pros to both farms, some cons to both. Like the fire elemental one specifically is really painful, so you have to contend with that. So I'm going to empty out my mailbox here. This is all just BOE gear that I've accumulated from past BOE farms and also farming for rousing fire and earth. So we're just going to go ahead and get this all relisted on the auction house. I have, as you can see, TSM operation for all of this stuff, but just so you can take a quick look at how I've got this set up. And I'll be honest, the way I set up groups and do groups and whatnot is probably a lot less organized than some of the other people you'll see, but it gets the job done, at least for now. So I just have this group here called Emerald Dream Greens, and I messed up at first. I had it on specific item. I eventually turned it to base item, and so I want it on specific item though, specifically because I hadn't realized this until recently, but speed gear is extremely valuable. So like this piece of speed gear here, this one maybe not as much just because it's only 418. It's not rare quality, and it's lucky that I just happened to go to this one. But it having plus speed is going to be beneficial to people like me and like you who are watching this, because they're farmers and you might probably want a speed set. So speed gear can sometimes, like literally the base set non-speed gear might sell for a few hundred gold, but then the speed piece might sell for like literally like 18,000 gold. Now the speed piece isn't going to sell nearly as quick, but yeah, if it sells, way more worth it than 400 gold. So you might want to make sure that you do have stuff set up at or listed as specific items so that you can specifically call out these ones with speed procs. Because if you just did like base item, then it's only going to look at like, if I go to base item, it's looking at Bloodkeeper's hand axe, Bloodkeeper's or Breezekeeper's hand axe, and Breezekeeper's mallet. It's not looking at Breezekeeper's mallet of the, whatever. And it's also not looking at any tertiary stats. So specific item is the way to go on this for BOEs. So I have those all grouped up. And I also just quickly wanted to show my TSM auctioning operation. It is the most basic operation. I don't even know what it's under. 2 post cap. That's right. So I just have a post cap for 2. I could probably change the duration, but I'm not going to. Actually, I might, just because I don't post all that often. I don't check in on this guy and repost every 12 hours, so I might just do 24 hours. The only thing that you have to watch for is like certain items will have higher deposit costs. And then if you're increasing the deposit duration to 24 hours, that's quite a bit more deposit cost. So it might not be worth selling specific items if the profit for selling the items considerably low. You might spend more than it's worth just in relisting it a handful of times. So I think I will try it at 24 hours. We'll see how that impacts sales and go from there. Otherwise, this was what I initially set for these all these BOEs was vendor sell plus 75 gold. I'm actually happy I looked at this. I think 75 gold is actually probably fine right now. I'm still making plenty of profit. I'm sure there are niche situations where I'm losing gold on specific items, but it is what it is. As long as the overall counter is going up, that's ultimately, what I care about. So we'll get these items relisted on the auction house real quick here. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, but just to kind of recover it, when I'm doing a lot of these farms, I do get random cloth because there are humanoids that I'm killing, and so they always have a chance of dropping cloth. My demon hunter is a tailor, so I oftentimes will send the cloth that I get over to my demon hunter. Right now he's got a shit ton in his bank, and I haven't totally decided what I want to do with it. I could just do bags, continue doing like wilder cloth bags, but I don't know. We'll see. But a big thing to do with, and related to these for cloth is going to be the professions that you have. So if you are going to be doing any sort of 2x4 farming in current content, I would highly recommend that you have tailoring and you have enchanting. Tailoring specifically, nice, we got a sale. 150 gold. Enchanting specifically an inside of the blue, and then you just want to max out this first one. So learning this has a small chance to gain. You want to go 10 points into inside of the blue, and then go into primal extraction. Learning primal extraction, just point number 1, improves the chance for you to get a additional rousing element when you kill something that drops rousings. And then every single additional point gives you 1% additional chance to gain more. And then it obviously gives you some additional skills uh, that aren't super relevant, so not super important.
Because any step towards plant-forward eating is a step in the right direction. Dea, 100% plant-based,
Um,
even if you're not. Now made with
and then, so that's the main thing for rousings, to just ensure that you're getting additional rousings. And then with tailoring, the only thing is going to be cloth collection. So if you look at your profession tab, if you pick up tailoring, you're going to see that you have Dragon Isles cloth scavenging passive already, which means you are particularly skilled at scavenging cloth from humanoids. So I think that as a base gives you an additional chance to get cloth off of people, humanoids. But then if you go into tailoring mastery, you need to put 10 points into tailoring mastery to get the cloth collection subspecialization. Then you want to dump 50 points into here, and this will increase the amount of cloth you get from humanoids 1% per point. And then not only that, but each 5 points, you're getting an additional 10%. And then once you get to 25 points, that increases it by 20%. And then lastly, once you've gotten the 50th point, you have a chance to get Wilder Cloth bolts. So all of these Wilder Cloth bolts have been looted off of humanoids, and I get a decent amount of them. If you do this 2x4 farming enough, you'll get quite a bit. You could keep the auction house stocked of Wilder Cloth bags permanently, with just all the Wilder Cloth bolts and other cloth that you get if you do the farm on a regular basis. So I'm about to swap characters, but I just kind of want to mention a couple of sales that we've gotten. Kind of disappointing. I don't know why it does this. In chat, it said Autumn Druid belt sold for 34.22. Had me all excited. Turns out it was just a 200 gold sale. But on the contrary, it said the Maple Tinder robe sold for 250 gold, but it actually sold for 1100. And then, oh, look, see? So it looks like somebody's probably going through, just got themselves a new character, and they're going through and buying themselves crafted gear. Because Maple Tinder robe and leggings sold. So those are some solid sales. 3,400 gold in sales so far. I'm happy with that. So I think next we are going to check out my Demon Hunter and see where we're at with bags. Next, let's take a look at my Demon Hunter. This character I believe, looked at the mail today. Although I don't think I've emptied it, but I should. I've been letting it kind of build up like my Druid, but I don't need to do that on this character because he doesn't really have the kind of sales that are going to make my mailbox fill up super quick.
work complete.
And that's the main reason I do it on my Druid, is because I know my mailbox will fill up super quick when I'm just, kind of going at my normal posting. So we got 180,619 gold. So we'll go ahead and just gather all of that real quick. Some of that you might have noticed, like if we go to the very top here. I thought we'd find it. I guess not. Maybe it doesn't list it since it was mailed from a different character. So like 84,000 gold of the 180k was mailed for my Druid, and just as kind of a reference back to a previous video, I was mentioning that I used this character to unravel Frostbite and Wilder Cloth. But I want to keep the finances between the characters, individual. And so I reimbursed this character for the cost of all the Frostbite and Wilder Cloth. So we'll do a quick post scan here. Azure Weave Expedition packs have gone down slightly in price. I have quite full bags here. So we'll take a quick look at one thing. It's kind of a passive gold making thing that you can do for Unraveling. Generally, when I've spoken of Unraveling, it's been to get Rousing Frosts to send to my druid to craft the chilled runes. But you can just do Unraveling as itself and make profit off of that. So let me just get my handy dandy worksheet pulled up here. So let me just stick this here. I don't think this is going to work how I want it to. But let's just take it. Oh, yeah, you know what? It will. So these are numbers that I recently did. So I bought Frostbitten Wilder cloth off the auction house for 3 gold, 27 silver per cloth. And at the time, I bought 25,511 cloth. And it cost me 83,420 gold. Now, I went through and I unraveled all of it, and then I took a look at the auction house and the rousing prices. At the time, Rousing Frost was selling for 7 gold, 85 silver per. I had 11,652 in my bags after doing all the unraveling. And so that equaled 91,468 gold and 20 silver. So just from the rousing alone, I turned a profit of roughly 8,000 gold. Again, just from the Frostbitten Wilder cloth into Rousing Frost. I also received spools of I don't even know what they're Wilder thread, I think. Rank 2 and rank 3. At the time, they were both selling for the exact same amount. I received 1766. What a year. Rank 3 spools and 5342 of rank 2. With those factored in and selling those as well. A total profit of 17,287 gold and 63 silver for doing this unraveling. Now, a very important factor, and one that I actually don't have, is time invested. I probably could figure out how long it takes to unravel like 1,000 Wilder cloth or Frostbitten Wilder cloth and figure it out. I've done the math over here previously, kind of. I had some trouble with it. Again, math isn't my strong suit. But I honestly, I don't really care about the time invested. As long as I'm able to because that's kind of an AFK farm. I work from home. So sometimes I can just press that button every few minutes and have it unravel. So it's virtually AFK for me. And it's going to turn a profit. So, but let's use current server prices. So the Frostbitten Wilder cloth, we'll say average of 3 gold 48. So we put minus 3, not 0.3, 3.48. And if we bought 25,000 of it, or we'll not adjust that number, because then we can use these amounts as a baseline. So if we assume we bought 25,511 of it at this price, it cost us roughly 89,000 gold. But then let's factor in the Rousing Frost price. So right now it's 7 gold, 57 silver. And if I got the same amount of Rousing Frost as last time for doing the same amount of milling, or not milling, unraveling, then we would have done technically a loss of profit. Just on the rousings alone, right? We would have lost like 600 gold, 500 gold. Now we probably still would turn a profit with including the spools in there as sales. But obviously that's like 10,000 gold less than the last time I did this. That is, I care a bit more in terms of that profit makes it a little bit less worth it. So I don't know that I would go for that. So next, let's just take a look at any recipes that we can currently craft. So we probably want to restock on some bags. Bags are not influenced by multi-craft, so you only want to have resourcefulness tools on, and make sure you enchant it with resourcefulness as well. But it's saying a 270 gold profit per craft currently, so that's pretty nice. And we just had a bunch of bags sell, so I think I'm just going to buy enough to craft like I don't know. People usually buy 4 bags in a bunch. So we'll just buy enough for like 2 characters worth of bags. We'll craft 8 bags. We already have 5 here in my inventory. And then we might also see about crafting some wilder cloth bags. So another thing that I enjoy about, or that's nice about these, or having this set up on this character is, as I mentioned, I work from home, so bags is something that sells pretty well, and so I can kind of just keep getting them posted on the auction house while I'm unraveling, and just kind of maximizing profit even beyond that. So real quick here, I crafted the 8 bags that I initially set out to craft. Resourcefulness saved me 6 additional Azure Weave bolts, I believe. Or maybe, I don't know. But there we go. We've got the bags crafted. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so we were able to craft 2 additional ones. I might have had an Azure Weave bolt already in my bags because I don't think I saved 6. And then we'll just craft what wilder cloth bags we can craft right now. Obviously, I'm actually running low on wilder cloth bolts, so I would need to get those sent over. But these are completely free for me to craft, right? Because all of the wilder cloth that I have and wilder cloth bolts has been just gathered by my hunter. So I just send it over here. As I've mentioned, I try to keep like all my characters' finances and whatnot separate, but with something like that, it's such a small amount. Like the cloth costs so little that it's not worth trying to factor in the profits. Hey, what's up, Scope? How's it going, man? How you doing, dude? I'm just kind of doing starting work. Oh shit, it's Monday for you, hey? That sucks. It's 5 o'clock for me right now on Sunday evening. I'm doing good. I've been live here for just shy of 2 hours. I'm really enjoying this, man. I've been like kind of talking to myself, but I don't care. It's fun. I got my YouTube, or I set up a YouTube channel and posted a video on there. I used to like stream and or not so much stream, but do YouTube like a long time ago. I have old videos. Maybe I'll show one time. They're embarrassing of me eating disgusting shit. Like, well, you're from Australia or you live in Australia, so you might know this. Vegemite. I ate Vegemite with spam and like the puked on video. It was a whole thing, but I've always loved making videos and this kind of thing, so it's fun to do. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, we're just kind of chilling right now. I made a video yesterday, which was kind of like laying the foundations for what my current like markets are and that kind of thing. And I think what I'm gonna do is, I don't know if it's gonna be daily necessarily, but kind of when I can, daily would be cool. Like recap of like check in on all my characters from the day before, see what they've made in terms of gold, and then maybe like do some random farming here and there. You used to do my YouTube playing Medal of Honor back in the day. Oh my god, Medal of Honor. I haven't thought about that game in such a long time. I miss Medal of Honor. Can you still play that? I don't know. Look at all those Wilder cloth bags selling. Love it. You had only 22 gold. Kind of sucks. But better than nothing. All right. So final person we have to check in on today is Diet Pepsi. This is my Transmog Farmer slash miscellaneous. What's up? Yeah. Guy, come here. Thank you.
Work complete.
Wait. Oh, it's when you had plenty of time. That makes sense. Yeah. I still have a lot of time on my hands. My wife's pregnant though, so kind of doing this while I can, because come August, I feel like I'm not going to have time to do this anymore. So, thank you. Yeah, it's our first, we just found out in early mid-December. So super exciting. Anyways, so final recap is my Transmog Farmer here. He has not had very much luck, but I have a lot of auctions to go through. A lot of the sales that we see are... Oh, we did get a Transmog. Ooh, a Goblin Screwdriver. That's like my second Transmog sale ever. I forget what my first one was already, but kind of one of those situations I wish I could have like... And like, I don't know, it's a thing, it's a tradition here where you like staple your first dollar made at, if you're a business owner, on the wall. And like, that's what I would do with my gold. Or like my first gold coin if I could, or something. But that's exciting. First sale. I don't know why I'm getting all these invalid group errors. We'll worry about that another day. You've got 2 kids yourself? That's cool. How old are they? My a good friend of mine has a couple of kids. They're 2 and 4, and I love those kids so much. It's made me so excited. Oh, well, there you go. So then, very fun age, but also complete nightmare pieces of shit. And he would be okay if I told his kids that, because he knows. But I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, we haven't done a whole lot of mog farming. We did do 10 runs of dead mines yesterday, and Loot Appraiser is a cool add-on, but um, I don't know why the amounts it tells me that items are worth when I loot them versus what they're actually worth is always so different. Loot Appraiser, after 10 clears of dead mines, told me I had made 400,000 gold. And I was so close to clickbaiting like a video like, hey, make 400K in 40 minutes. But when I went through everything that I had gotten at the end, it was only like 100,000, which is, I ain't complaining. It's great. But why has Loot Appraiser got to lie to me? And also, another thing about that is, it wasn't like, well, at least as far as I know, it would tell me some items like this, for example. It'd be like, ding, this is worth 100K, and I'd look at it and I'd see that my market says it's like 1,000, and the region average sale says it's like 1,000, but then TSM's like, ding, 100,000. So that can be a little frustrating when you're doing your transmog farming, but going through and posting all of these auctions, it's actually really cool to see all the valuable stuff that I've gathered. I think like this, for example. Oh, you can fix that. I didn't know that. I don't know how you would do that. And also, I think I also tried copying your posting string. I think I did. Maybe I did it incorrectly. Okay, here. Let me do. Oh, I should have finished posting. Whatever. All right. Open Loot Appraiser. Oh, Canada, what's up, my man? How's it going? You and my other homie Scope in here kind of change price to DB market. Get some is it dark? Okay, hold on. There, now you guys can have a good view of my pop shot in the background. Okay, where's DB market? Min buyout. Oh, okay. What's up, Canada? Welcome in, my dude. Oh, thank you. You followed. That's so kind of you. I don't know. I don't know how like notifications and shit work. I thought I had a plug-in for sound alerts, but it didn't do anything, so I'll have to mess with that. Okay, so min price, that's the most recent price on your server according to TSM. Okay, well, thank you. That will probably make things very beneficial. The other thing I was curious about, Mr. Scope, is your string that you post at. Because, like, for example, that monolithic bow. Where is it? Yeah. So it posted for 139,000 gold. But the region average sales says 11,000. So, it's definitely not going to sell for what I have it listed. So I don't know I don't know if you guys have any recommendations. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. That's okay too. You're tired, Canada. I hear you, dude. You're a talker. You always have something to say. I strive to be that much of a talker when I'm streaming. But you put a lot of effort into your streams compared to other people. Like you have a agenda going into it. You've already prepared like a little graphic thumbnail thing for your stream that you post when in your Discord when you're going live. You've got all your sheets and everything. Like you put a lot of effort into it. So you talked less before. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's awesome. It's awesome that you've become more of a talker. It makes it way more entertaining. Make sure it's the group. Yeah. This is. Make sure it's in the group. Blanked to your auction. Yeah. So. Well, let me. Yeah, I'm putting everything in other. Yeah, so I'm putting everything in other. And I've got that's selected. Yeah, I fucked up when I was setting up these groups. I didn't even remember at the time and then think about the fact of like specific item versus base item and that kind of thing. And now that I haven't done it, it's like oh, I see what you mean. Monolithic bow. What do I see? What group?
Upgrade your business tools with an American Express Business Platinum card. Unlock over $1,000 per year in statement credits on select purchases. And
Yeah, I don't know if I want to, or I mean, I really should go through and probably like change the groups around and like specific versus base item. Because I think for Transmog, right, base is what you want. Because like nobody cares if it's like of the Fire Flash or of the whatever. What am I looking for? Monolithic bow. Yeah.
Somewhere once had a beef with saying beef and plant-based together. So putting a slice of Daya cheese on a beef burger, not okay.
I fucked up. Okay, well, I'm probably gonna have to ungroup all this stuff, and then as I gather new things, regroup it. My bow is in the top group.
The biggest step is going from nothing to something.
This one.
That's why the Peloton tread has thousands of classes to get you up and moving. Whatever level you're at, we got a class for you.
Let's take it one step at a time.
From a
Here, why don't I
60-minute run and instructors to help you
that
Get light on your feet, get tall on the tread.
and
ungroup it?
doing something is everything. Get started with a Peloton tread 30-day home trial at onepeloton.com/home-trial. All access membership separate. Terms apply.
Yeah, I have. I mean, I am like. When I say fresh into Transmog, I literally was inspired to start trying Transmog from Eucanadia, Scope, and Arnota. So I literally have like always only done Dragonflight commodities, and so now I'm just starting Transmog for the first time and figuring it out. So I am just going to add this right into other, and let's do a post scan and just see what it does. Yeah. I don't know. If you post it, what operation does it say it's posting with? transmog. I don't have multiple. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Really strange. Server? No, I'm on Area 52. It's Diet Pepsi. See? It's Diet Pepsi. You know Diet Pepsi. The man, the myth, the legend. Not Pepsi Max or Zero or whatever that one person. Oh, yeah. I can imagine that people are territorial, which is weird. I feel like if you're territorial, then like you're probably doing something you shouldn't be. Like you're RMTing and you're getting pissed that people are taking money out of your pocket or something. I know, they were hating on Team Diet Pepsi. They're just haters. I did, so yeah, like I was saying earlier, 10 runs of Dead Mines, and thank you, Scope. That should help, with the price source, so it doesn't tell me astronomical prices when it's not true whatsoever. But I'm also only currently doing transmog on Area 52. Like I'm not, as of now, transferring stuff to other servers and if it's more valuable there, or etc. I might do that eventually if like I have everything here. I don't know if that's a possibility. Look at this schematic. I got that day you were getting super lucky, Scope. You got like 30 schematics in Sunwell. So I gave it a shot and got one. But yeah, I'm gonna continue trying different transmog sources. I do enjoy running dungeons because it's just super mindless. But I would love to be able to like put groups together. Like Canada, I started, this is my second stream, I'm telling you. My first stream was yesterday. Technically, this is actually my third because I streamed twice yesterday. And I'll probably stream another time later. I'm going to wrap up fairly soon here and go eat some din. Oh, how do I do? Oh, yeah. Mouse wheel. That in the TSM settings? Auctioning. Macros. Oh, scroll wheel down when I'm doing this action. Posting. Oh. Okay, cool. I don't know what I do confirmation for. Oh, bidding. I don't do canceling. Sweet, thanks. Yeah, so I've been enjoying doing the dungeon gold making, or dungeons like 10 of Dead Mines, Wailing Caverns, RFK, and trying all those. But Mr. Canada influenced me to start streaming. Because I was jealous of him being able to just put a group together for whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. So, yeah, I guess that's that. But the group farming's fun. Yes, you are. You influenced me. You did. You did influence me. Uh, so the group farming's fun. Still with this, I want to try Saltstone Cave in a group farm. Um, Also Canada. I don't know. I haven't seen you try this. I'm sure you have. But doing like some 2x4 rousing fire. There's a really popular rousing fire farm right here. I did it for like 30 minutes earlier, and I swear I got over 1,000 rousing fire from it, plus BOEs. So that might be worth something checking out in your stream if you ever wanted to. Pretty mindless, super hyper spawn as well. But I love doing those group farms if there's actually a group for it. So as I've mentioned, but I'm always down to put together a group if anybody ever wants to. So let me know. But let's finish getting this Transmog posted. I don't know. Did I clear out everything? I did. And I think I made like 7,000 gold. Woot woot. 2 Transmog sales. Otherwise, oh, I think I got everything posted already too. So, why? I don't know why some of these things are saying invalid group. Oh, maybe because the price is. Yeah, I think it's because the price is too low. I can probably just vendor all that crap. So let's do that. Oh, Saltstone lost value? I didn't know that. That's depressing. I just love getting the dings, man. Honestly, that's all I'm in it for. I don't care if it's a 5,000 gold an hour or 100,000. Like, I just want a loot appraiser dings. You know what I mean? Set that expected price to like 5 gold. Ding, 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 ding. Just all the time. That's what I'm in it for. Oh, okay. So has it been like nerfed, or is it just like super over farmed? Because I see a lot of people farming it, so it could just be maybe it's like over farmed and so it's lost value that way. Gotcha. Yeah, that sucks. Anything popular just gets over farmed now. I tried going around and like I don't know if you've tried this. I got this from Scope Killer Canada, but he was going around to it's like a bunch of different vendors like out in the world, and like he started off in the wetlands. I think would just go to like each random vendor he saw and like look through everything they sold just to see if they had any like one-off patterns that maybe were rare, or like some of this like white quality gear. And so I've actually done that. I've copied a little. I haven't like I want to go around to vendors and just random places more. And I've bought some random shit like this and actually gotten some sales. It's not, not anything like too valuable, but I feel like if I just went around for like an hour or two with like a rare scanner, hopefully get some rares that drop something nice, but then also just look for vendors that sell stuff. That could just be like a way to just, have some stock listed on the auction house. And then I also love getting the lock boxes and opening them bad boys up. Holy Shroud, I remember I looted this and my add-on thought it was so valuable, and it's just not anymore. One sec, I'm getting a phone.
So putting a slice of Daya cheese on a beef burger, not okay. Well, our delicious melty cheese has a beef with your beef about beef, because any step towards plant-forward eating is a step in the right direction. Daya, 100% plant-based, even if you're not. Now made with Daya Oat Cream Blend.
What if the best thing you did for yourself each day was also the easiest? It's all about small, simple habits that make a real impact on your health. AG1 simplifies your routine with one daily scoop of 75 vitamins, probiotics, and whole food sourced ingredients. In less than 60 seconds, you're nourishing your
All
entire
right,
body
sorry about that.
and setting yourself up to rock your day every day. Find AG1
Sale rates are lower too. Yeah, that makes sense.
AG1.com.
Yeah, I can't remember where I got Holy Shroud from, but I remember being hyped about it because I thought it was super valuable, but it's not. And I've set kind of like my threshold currently to 250 gold. So if it's not worth 250 gold or more, then I generally try to vendor it. And especially since I'm only doing Area 52, like I know Area 52 is like super high pop, so I mean it's going to be saturated way more than any other server that's not Area 52 or like Illidan or Tyke basically. So I know stuff's not going to be as valuable, so I try to, when I'm like going through and vendoring, I try to look at like that region average sale, because I just go through the TSM selling menu. So I'll just sort by like potential, like this. It's saying potential's 1,400 gold, but no, it ain't. I don't know like where you getting these prices from, homie. So yeah, I just sort by potential, but I do go through and like some of the green items I'll look and see like maybe Area 52, it might not be worth anything, but maybe it's worth something like in the region and I could move it somewhere else. But I would probably only do that for like stuff that seems like it's super valuable or like particularly neat. Because if it's just like, like some random green shade of bracers, I probably won't do it because there's probably a lot of green shades of bracers. So, that's kind of what I'm looking at. So yeah, I think for now I'm gonna call it kind of there. I'm probably gonna go live after a while here, do some farming. I might play some Hunt Showdown with some of my homies. It's a fun game, really fun game. Or I might not go live later. I don't really know. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed Canada and Scope. Thank you guys for popping in. I really appreciate it. It's really nice of you. Bada bing. Oh. Bam. Check that out. You see that? Check out my YouTube. I posted a video earlier today. And it was basically, it's like 45 minutes long. It's a long one. And I've been recording this. And I'm basically just probably going to post like video. I don't know if it's going to be daily. It would be cool if it was daily. I just don't know if that's realistic. But I kind of want to do like updates of, like where I'm at gold making. And then probably just random videos of like different streams or not streams, but like farms and shit I'm doing. But I'm not going to be doing like, 500K an hour doing this and like clickbait people. It'd be more like, here's what you can realistically expect from 10 runs of dead mines. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what all I'm going to do with it, but I'm enjoying it. Canada, Scope, again, my dudes, thank you for coming in. I hope you guys, Scope, have a wonderful work day. Canada, have a good evening. Take care, fellas. Thanks for coming in.